Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back for your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And for all those XRP holders out there that are still holding strong and have zero doubt, I want all of you to hit that like button and comment down below, XRP zero doubt. Now, with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with this article here. So this is called "The Race for Global Stablecoins is On," and it got posted from globalstablecoins.com. It's kind of rehashing that post from 2022 from Ripple, but we do see race for dominance. Countries and institutions embrace global stablecoins in the digital economy. And we do see stablecoins have witnessed a remarkable surge in adoption over the past few years, positioning themselves as a vital component of the digital currency ecosystem. Recent data indicates a substantial increase in their usage, with significant growth in both transaction volume and overall supply. As countries around the world race to explore the potential of central bank digital currencies and global stablecoins, key there is global stablecoins, the financial landscape is undergoing a profound transformation. We do see a few things around stablecoins and the growth and the volume behind them. Also, in 2022, $7.2 trillion in volume around stablecoins. And yes, I do have that that value over here. It's actually 7.4 trillion in 2022. What's wild about this is that this is during a bear market. Like, this was during the worst time in the market. 2022 was horrendous, right? And we still hit $7.4 trillion in stablecoin volume. That means I'll just project a 2x growth during a bull market where, again, a flood of individuals come into the space. You're looking at roughly $14.8 trillion. That is massive. And again, as we do continue to see things happening around stablecoins and a lot of these nations embracing stablecoins, and I'm more so talking about like the issuance of it, the regulations behind them, and how they can utilize them within their financial ecosystem, I do think that stablecoins are going to be a key player. And we even do see down here, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's acknowledgement of stablecoins as a form of money adds weight to their prominence. Powell emphasizes the necessity of central bank oversight and regulation to ensure stability and credibility in the digital currency realm. As the world's reserve currency, the US dollar's involvement in stablecoin regulation holds significant implications for the future of the nascent market. And I want you guys to understand, like, as we continue to see a lot of these major nations pushing forward on with regulatory frameworks and adoption of significant crypto solutions like stablecoins and how to utilize stablecoins, it really puts a lot of pressure on all of the other nations that are kind of dragging their feet, which, again, the US is one of those nations. So in my opinion, yeah, the US is on the verge of a major decision, and it really is. I want to say time is running out, right? Time is running out, and the US has no choice. Now, as we do focus on this, Ripple is becoming a leader around stablecoins and CBDCs, especially through the CBDC platform. The greatest thing about this around XRP is the fact that they are utilizing the power of XRP for a lot of stablecoin issuance and even possibly CBDC issuance. Now, of course, when we do talk about CBDCs, that will most likely be on a private ledger technology based upon the XRP ledger. So again, the public XRP ledger won't see CBDCs all that much, but I do believe that XRP will be tied to both of them, whether it be private or public ledger technology, because I've talked about it. There's only one XRP, and again, XRP will have to be utilized to bridge a lot of these things that are happening within the Ripple ecosystem. But of course, just recently, we've seen Novati Group Limited, a leading fintech company, make significant strides by launching its fiat-backed stablecoin AUDD on the XRP ledger, aka the Australian digital dollar. And of course, this was leveraging the XRP ledger's power, as well as utilizing XRP through payment technology, which is great to see. And again, like, as we do continue to see the growth of stablecoins, this is only going to continue to heighten. And it's right on par with what Ripple has said, going all the way back to 2022. The global stablecoin race is on. This was November of 2022. Again, Ripple one step ahead of all the competition. And we even did see that it was around roughly $1 trillion monthly trading volume in August. around stablecoins. So, stablecoins continue to become a major focus point because of the growth here. And also, Ripple did have two partnerships back in 2022, Stably and Stasis, around their stablecoins, tapping the XRP ledger as well for, liquidity, reliability, interoperability, low cost, fast, scalable, you name it, right? The efficiencies are unmatched. And the future, in my opinion, around XRP is set in stone. I do believe that Ripple with XRP is becoming a pillar around this new financial system that is rising. It's going to take some time. It really is. But, time we do have. And a lot of people have been asking me, like, Nick, how long do you expect this to take? Well, guys, I want you all to understand that this could take very well 5 to 10 years and even possibly more. But the best part about this is that we're talking about for mass adoption and major money to come into this space. In the meantime, I still believe that XRP could very well hit $5 to $10 and possibly even higher to $15 plus without mass adoption. Got to remember that XRP has been suppressed and held underwater for so long. And guess what? You could only hold it underwater for so long until it finally erupts. I do believe that we will see a day where XRP does erupt into a major price target that everyone has been waiting for forever. Don't necessarily believe that $10 is going to be the major target, just simply because everyone has been waiting for it. So we most likely get a fake out or we blast past it. But I do think that the future is going to be very exciting, especially around digital assets, stablecoins, and things like that. And you got to remember that Ripple has created specifically the CBDC platform to, again, initiate stablecoin adoption and issuance. Remember, this is CBDCs and stablecoins now. Before, this only used to be CBDCs. And we even do see accelerate payments and reduce costs. This is the future of money. Listen, the future of money is digital. There's no way of avoiding it at this point. I see a lot of people saying, like, this is so bad, this is going to be terrible, blah, blah, blah. We don't know. Right? Like we honestly don't know where things are going to head. Again, I've talked about how things can very well turn out. Could we be headed towards dark times? 100%. But that is why we have to prepare accordingly, and we have to make sure that we are taking care of those that are close to us and preparing them for the future. And again, I try to spread as much knowledge as I possibly can around crypto and around what's happening with CBDCs, just so people can, prepare accordingly. Hey, if those don't want to listen, that's fine. If those that want to listen, then that's great. I'm not going to try to force this onto people. But as we do look at what's happening, I do think that we are seeing a significant push on stablecoins. Recently, Japan's biggest bank, MUFG, is in talks to issue global stablecoins. Of course, this is most likely with the IMF and a few other players. Also, the BIS, the G7 working group on stablecoins, investigating the impact of global stablecoins. This goes all the way back to October of 2019. Just recently, the BIS has been coordinating a push on stablecoins and also even regulations around stablecoins, but they have seen a significant traction of stablecoins all the way back in 2019, which is why they are pushing heavily for it now. Again, this is 4 years later almost. This is how slow things kind of work around finance, because this is global disruptions, right? So, whatever actions do get taken around these, this is going to impact the globe, right? Around payments and payment technology. Also, just recently, the ECB, a regulatory and financial stability perspective on global stablecoins, all of these major entities are preparing. They are getting ready. They are getting ready 100%. And even recently, right? The IMF, regulating the crypto ecosystem, the case of stablecoins and arrangements. And this is all around, this was September of 2022, by the way. This is all around those global stablecoin initiatives. It's happening, and it's happening in real time. And also, just recently, the UK announced a bombshell, which we are going to go into here in a second. But I do first want to talk about the President Ruto of Kenya calls for a new financial architecture right in the face of Macron. Listen closely to this.
We need a financial transaction tax at a global level where even countries like Kenya pay. We do not want anything for free. You will pay more eventually because you have a bigger economy. We will pay commensurate to our economy. And we want those resources controlled not by IMF and World Bank. Because IMF and World Bank, you have the final say. We don't have no say. We want another organization of equals, where you have as much say because you pay, as much as we do because we also pay. That's the organization we are looking for. And that is why we are saying we need a new financial architecture where governance, where power is not on the hands of a few people. We can agree on the governance of the institution. We can agree on the sharing of power so that all of us have access to resources that go to making sure, number one, renewable energy. We invest in decarbonization. Number two, adaptation, mitigation, smart agriculture. Number three, restoring our planet, restoring our biodiversity, and making sure our carbon sinks work. This is what we are saying, and we would appreciate a little understanding. We want to be, we are talking the normal. If we continue talking the normal, Emmanuel, we will never solve this problem. Things are not going forward, they're going backwards. Tokenism, installment will not solve this problem. We have a much bigger problem than the installment we are discussing here will solve. You're not hearing us.
And all I have to say in response to that is, wow. Because this is a bombshell being dropped by the president of Kenya as well. Again, this is what's happening. They're just finally saying it now. We need a new financial architecture. It is on its way. It is being created. This is happening. Right? And he's calling for the IMF and the World Bank and these centralized entities to not be the ones that are, spearheading this movement. This is why we need the private initiatives. This is why we need companies like Ripple. As much as everyone wants to go out and hate on Ripple, Ripple is a private initiative, and whether or not their views are aligned with the people, they are there to try to protect the rights of transactions and transaction privacy and technology for the people. And we need more private entities, right? Because we can't just have the IMF and the BIS and the World Bank and these elite organizations being the ones in charge. We also need private initiatives, because guess what? Just like he's saying in this video, yeah, we're only going to go backwards. For the last couple decades, and arguably even going back a century, right? What we have seen is the destruction of money by centralized entities like the Federal Reserve and central bankers around the world. So yeah, we are going, back in time. We need to push forward. And we have the technology. And I do think that things are starting to unfold around the UK. Like I said, bombshell in the UK. This is a huge one. A landmark UK finance bill that will recognize crypto as a regulated financial activity in the country has passed into law, with King Charles giving it the final approval. UK is damn ready, guys. The UK has always been ready. London has always been ready. We have talked about this every single day. These nations are moving fast, way faster than the US, and I want you guys to realize that we are on the right side of history. Screw the SEC. I don't care what the SEC does. I don't care what the SEC says. These nations that are pushing forward and pushing on, they could care less who Gary Gensler is, who the SEC is. They know. They recognize the potential here, and they recognize that being first around the market like this has its benefits. And they will be rewarded. And also, over here, London's ready. Listen closely.
The UK says, forget it, we'll do it. It became what's known as the Eurodollar market, which is the overseas market for dollar borrowing and lending. That becomes we don't know the size of it, but let's call it a $400 trillion market.
Whoa.
And then the US, then we get this big breakthrough in derivatives. The US has got the Chicago Board of Trade doing futures and options and all of this stuff. But we start to figure out more complicated structures, things like swaps. And the US stops its banks doing it by its use of regulatory capital. They're like, no, this is inefficient. You can't do this. The UK and Europe went, well, we're going to regulate and allow it to happen because it's big. We've seen this before. That becomes a quadrillion-dollar market.
Jesus.
That's why every single bank from about 1985, well, particularly after the Big Bang in London, so let's call it from about 1990 to about 2008, 2010, all the major banks' largest operations were London. So Goldman Sachs' biggest operation, most profitable, London. Merrill Lynch, London. Merrill Lynch is different because it was a brokerage firm. But JP Morgan, they were all London. So London, if you've been watching the news, is going to do the same thing. It's called regulatory arbitrage. London is putting together a very sensible set of crypto rules, as has Europe, as has Switzerland, as has Singapore, as has Hong Kong, as has Australia. Okay, there's its old trading group that it did with Eurodollars and it did with derivatives and it did with foreign exchange, all got their regulations in place. The UK is the hub at the middle, and it will capture the lion's share. And before you know it, Coinbase, Gemini, and everybody will move to London.
And this is already happening. Ripple's already ahead of the game. London, April 19th. I just shared this in a recent video. It all starts in London. Do you guys see this? This is a big deal. And it's happening. It's happening in real time, guys. And London, well, guess what? London is #1 as a top 20 crypto hub city. Dubai is second. We already know Ripple's there. Singapore is #4. We already know Ripple's there. Hong Kong 7. Ripple's there. I'm telling you right now, the game is changing. Whether or not the US wants to be a part of this race, they will have no choice. Adapt or die. Adapt or die. The direct quote that we heard yesterday. Adapt or die. The US has no choice. It's happening. The race is on. And guess what? Ripple is a major participant. They are a major piece of the puzzle. They are a pillar within this new architecture. And guys, I don't know about you, but I am so damn excited. And if you are an XRP holder, and maybe you're not subscribed to the channel, but if you have watched this video this far and if you have enjoyed it, definitely hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.